Ms. Nicole Engard, and I am the Vice President of Education at Bywater Solutions. Today's tutorial is going to show you how to alter records in MarcEdit before importing them into Koha. Commonly, libraries will receive batches of MARC records from various different vendors outside of their integrated library system. A common use of this would be ebooks. If your ebook vendor provides you with MARC records, often those MARC records don't have items or holdings information on them. Some libraries like it this way, others prefer to add the item information on. My recommendation is to take the files from your ebook vendor, bring them into a tool called MarcEdit, which is a free tool that you can download on the internet, and then add the item information before importing it into Koha. So let's take a look. I've got MarcEdit open here, and I'm going to go to my MARC tools and go to the MARC breaker. This is actually how MarcEdit pulls in a MARC file and then translates it so that we can read it on the screen, because MARC is a computer language and it's just not very pretty to read. So I'm going to find the file, and I'm going to tell it where I want it to put my output. And it won't really have to change anything down here for this process today. We're just doing the MARC breaker, which is going to convert a MARC file into a readable file for us. And so I'm going to click execute. It found 145 records and it's processed them all. Once that's done, I can click edit records. This is going to open up the editor, which is in a more reader-friendly format, so we can see the various different fields broken out on the side here. Now, Koha stores the information about your item or holdings in a 952 field. And so if I look at this MARC record, I see there is no 952 field. So I need to add one. And to do that, I'm going to go to Tools, and I'm going to go to Add or Delete a Field. The field I want to add is the 952, so I'm going to type that in there. And in field data, you want to enter all of the subfields. Subfields should start with a $sign. So for the branch information, for example, subfield A, it should be $A. And then you want to enter the codes related to the branches. So in my case, Nicole's library, the code is NIC, all capitals. We also want to put in B, which is the same thing. It's the other branch. And then I want to put in an item type, which is subfield Y, and in my case it should be ebook. And you want to follow through this process with all the different fields you want to add. Koha requires that you at least add the A, B, and the Y. So if you have this, then you're done as far as Koha is concerned, but many libraries want to add additional information, and you are welcome to do that. So I've added the fields I need, and so I'm going to click Add Field. It tells me 145 fields were added. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to close the editor, and I'm going to come over here and take a look. And I see here's the 952 with the information I put in on that one, and the same thing on this one. Now that that's done, I can compile this back into MARC, and I can import it into Koha. So I'm going to go to File and choose to compile the file into MARC. It's going to ask me where I want to save it and a name, so I'm just going to call it import file, and it tells me at the bottom confirmation 145 records were processed. So I'm done with this. I can close this. If you want to save changes to the file that MarcEdit made, you can go ahead and do that. Close MarcEdit and go to my staff client. From here, I'm going to log in and go to the Tools area, which is where I can find my importer. And I can stage MARC records for import from here. I'm going to browse to find the file, and it was this import file.mrc. Open that up, upload it to Koha, choose any matching rules. I won't look for any matches at this time. And you do want to look for embedded item record data, because we've just added an item record to each one of those. So each one now has a 952, and that's what this is. So I want to look for it, and I always want to add it. And so I can click Stage for Import. Once I do this, it gives me a summary. Same thing we had in MarcEdit. 145 records were in the file. That's awesome. So I'm going to click Manage Staged Records, and it will show me the 145 records that were in the file. And I can click to preview the MARC file, and we'll see all the information here. We can close that. And once we're done, we can import the batch. Once you've imported the batch, you'll then be able to see the holdings information simply by clicking on the bib number over on the right-hand side of each record. So if I click this one, I see down here at the bottom, Nicole's Library, ebook, everything is exactly as I wanted it when I was editing the record in MarcEdit. Once again, my name is Nicole Engard, and this has been a Bywater Solutions production. Visit us on the web at www.bywatersolutions.com.